Good morning and welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday, November 15th and it is about 7 a.m. It's currently 28 degrees out here. It's pretty cold. The low was 25. Got up here last night about 6 p.m. It was already in the low 30s when I got here. Encountered another problem. If you watched the last video, you'll know I've had a pest wreaking havoc on my furnace in the trailer. Pack rat, well, he or she is back and did it again. I went to turn the furnace on from the thermostat, and the thermostat had zero power to it. So I assumed that a wire had gotten chewed through, and I got into the furnace this morning, and sure enough, the pack rat is back, has made a new nest and chewed through some wires. So I no longer have heat once again. Wasn't sure what I was going to do because it's pretty cold, but I did, while I was gone over the last few weeks, I purchased a propane tank top heater, and I went ahead and used that in the cabin last night. I have a carbon monoxide detector. It never read anything on it, no problem. Got the cabin nice and warm. I did have to put down a electric blanket for the dog on her dog bed, just to keep her warm overnight. And I also had an electric blanket upstairs with inside my sleeping bag. Kept me nice and toasty. It was perfect. It got probably got into like 30 degrees up there, but I was nice and warm. So today I'm going to grout the hearth inside for the wood stove. I don't have a lot of time because I'm going to leave tomorrow, and I have one of my neighbors. He's up right now, and he's going to help me move the stove later, put it up on the hearth. But I got to put that tank heater in there, the propane tank top heater in there, run it for a bit to warm up inside there so I can grout. I don't want it to be below freezing in there, and I want it to be a bit warmer so that grout will set up properly. Hopefully later on this afternoon the grout will be set up and finished off enough that I can go ahead and put that wood stove up there and hopefully get it piped in, because I'd like to use it tonight. It's getting cold. I think it's going to be colder tonight. So yeah, that's the plan today. Also, I picked up some solar powered Christmas lights, LED Christmas lights, Christmas tree lights, whatever, colorful. I'm going to put those on the pine tree at the entrance to my driveway, just kind of wrap it around, decorate it up a little bit. Thought that would be pretty neat. But that's really all I plan to do while I'm up here. Just finish off the stove and put some lights on that tree. I did pick up a bunch of a very long strand, or a couple of them actually, of white LED lights, solar powered lights, that I am going to wrap around the basically the underbelly of the trailer. I've heard that that will help keep rodents away. We shall see. I don't know if I'll get to doing that while I'm out here. If I have time, I might do it tomorrow. But yeah, there is a pack rat in there, and that thing is still causing me problems. So I've got to get this dealt with. But anyways, Sadie, she's, I don't know if you can see her. She wants to go on a walk. It's been a while, a few weeks since we've gone on a nice long walk. So that's what we're gonna do. Try to warm up a little bit because it's still pretty chilly out here. It's a little breezy, but that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go for a walk. We're gonna come back. Probably put the heater inside there, get that place warmed up, and then I'm gonna start grouting. Alright, well here we are at the pine tree that I have over here at the entrance to my driveway. Here's the solar powered tree lights. They come with a stake. This is a 2-pack. They come with a stake if you want to stake the little panel into the ground. And then trying to get this out of here without dropping stuff everywhere. Oh man. And then here it is right here. You got the panel, and then there's a battery built into this, and it's got an on-off button and different modes. And if they're like the ones I have at home, I'm not sure if they are, but they will turn on automatically when it gets dark. I forget how many feet this is. I think it's like 76 feet in one strand, which is probably plenty for this little tree right here. So I don't think I'll need to use the other one. Once I get it wrapped, I think if I can get my stove put together today, I might come back out here and start chopping down some of this standing dead tree here, and use it for a fire tonight. Kind of get it away from the tree, open this up a little bit, and then use it for firewood tonight. So we'll see. Okay, we're all done putting the lights on the tree. The sun isn't quite over here yet. There's a tree behind us really blocking it. But I put the little solar panel down there on the rock facing south. And it's not my best lighting of a tree, but it's pretty cold and I was in a hurry. So I'm gonna let that charge throughout the day, and then come back out here sometime tonight when it's dark and turn it on and just see how it looks. Hey, sorry guys, I couldn't record anything earlier today. I was pretty busy. I didn't have a whole lot of time. I just barely got wood chopped before the sun went down. It looks lighter on the phone out here than it actually is. I can't even hardly see my dog, but the phone can. Anyways, there's the lights. Not sure how I feel about them. That's just one mode. There's different modes. Yeah, not too bad. Kind of neat. Oh, let's change this mode up a little bit. I think I'll just leave it like that. Yeah. Oh, it fades in and out. That's cool. Looks like I'm missing something right there. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, that's pretty neat. I like it. Anyways, yeah, it's dark, so I haven't even made dinner yet. It's getting, it's dinner time. But I didn't have time to record. I was busy. Didn't have time to take a break. But, and I'll show you tomorrow, I got the stove installed. I'm trying to light a fire in it right now, so trying to get the draft going. So, all right, guys, I will update you in the morning. Good morning. It is Wednesday, the 16th. Yep, November 16th, just after 10 a.m. It is currently 33 degrees outside. The low was 18 degrees. So, I did get the stove installed. That thing is nice. I love it. It's so much nicer having really good quality heat inside this little cabin instead of using propane. All right, where do I start? So first off, I was running around yesterday like a chicken with his head cut off. I didn't have enough time in the day. It was so cold in here yesterday, all day, that I had to bring in my tank top heater and put it right over here. When I started grouting, I couldn't, the grout wouldn't set up and it wouldn't start to dry until I put the heater in here. And you can see I haven't done my last couple wipe downs on the tile yet because it was taking so long between wipes to get the water to dry or to get this film. It just wasn't happening. It was the wrong temperature in here for that. So I ran out of time, and it was getting very cold outside and dark, and I needed to get this wood stove installed, so I had some heat. So you can see it all looks just gray right now, but eventually it's all going to look like that once I do the final dustings on it. Probably take, I don't know, 2 or 3 more good wipe downs, and this thing will be good to go. But I really like how it turned out. The grout itself didn't take too long. It was just the drying of it, so I could, finish it off. But yeah, my neighbor came over yesterday. He came over a bit early. I literally just started grouting. So they hung out for a little bit, him and a couple of his friends, and while I was grouting this, and then they had to take off. So I was able to put this up here by myself. It was kind of a delicate process. I do have it piped to the fresh air intake from outside, the vent. And this is my very first time doing single wall or any indoor chimney piping. Had a cut a couple pieces, and it works. It's not the best looking job ever. I do have some chimney pipe paint. I'm going to go ahead and hit these screws later on, but it doesn't leak. There's no smoke that comes out of this at any point into this room. So the wood that I have available right now, which isn't a lot because I don't have anything really cut, is just wood that I've had outside by the fire pit for the last 5 years, sitting on the ground. The moisture content of it isn't too high, but it wasn't quite dry enough to get this thing lit quickly. It took a while, and I had to use a little torch to get it going. This little wood stove does have a airflow control knob down here. You pull it all the way out, that's full air. That's how you get it started. So I had to play around with this for a little bit last night to get it going, but pull the knob out. I learned that you have to leave the door cracked for quite a while to get the wood going good. And once you get a decent flame in there, basically a roaring flame, you can then shut the door and let it burn down for a bit. Throw some more wood on top, and then you could start pushing the knob in. And this is on medium right here. That piece of wood's been in there for over an hour. It's still got a ways to go, but I'm gonna shut it all the way, and that flame will eventually just roll down to a slow rolling burn, which is real nice. It'll hold that piece of wood in there for probably, I don't know, a few hours. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm really liking the way this thing is heating this place, even with almost no insulation in here. There's only insulation from here over there. That's it. Nothing else is insulated, and almost no insulation upstairs. Just a couple of strips. So okay. So I did not get to pre-burn this wood stove before putting it in here. And when you have a new stove like this and you light them, they're going to emit a lot of kind of noxious chemical smells and smokes from the paint on the stove. And it got pretty nasty in here last night. Once I got this up to a real good strong burn, it got really bad in here, and I had to open some windows and turn a fan on. But it calmed down a bit, especially once I reduced it to a low flame like this. The smoke kind of cleared out, and then I was able to close the windows up, load this thing up with some wood, and then go to bed. And it kept this little cabin warm pretty much all night. When I got up this morning, it was 18 degrees outside, and there was nothing left in there but just a couple little small coals, like about, I don't know, 2 inches big. Really wasn't putting off any heat anymore. The fan was just barely rolling up there on top, but it was still 48 degrees in here, so it wasn't terrible. So I loaded it back up with some wood this morning, and couldn't utilize the coals that were left in there because they were too small. But I got it going again, and it's nice in here. It's 64 in here right now. I had to open the windows up again this morning because I got this thing rolling really good, and it started putting off more smoke from the paint, and it was getting really bad in here. So I currently have 2 windows open right now, and it's still 64 degrees in here, and it's 33 outside, and it is extremely windy outside, like ridiculously windy right now. So I was going to show you guys, I don't know where it is. I'm looking for my little infrared thermometer, but let me see if I can find it. I'll get right back with you guys. Okay, so I found my little thermometer, and I'm going to go ahead and at the top, right where the chimney pipe is, we're sitting at about 450. too bad. Over here, probably right there, 122. It's not too bad. I mean, if you look back here, 90 degrees, 80 degrees, whatever. So this tile is going to be plenty. The tile and the cement board behind it is plenty to shield this and to keep any worries away from a fire starting in my walls. See how hot that glass is. I think that's shining right through the glass. Can't get you a good temperature on the glass. It's going right to the log, but underneath, not too bad. 82 degrees. That's why I have that piece of wood down there, just to help dry it out a little bit. That's some of the stuff I had laying on the ground outside for years. It's dry, but it's still a little high as far as moisture content. I have a little moisture meter for wood, and you just push the two probes into the wood and it'll give you a moisture content. You want your wood below 20, and it's ideal to be, you know, as little as possible. But the wood's a little bit wet from being on the ground, but not too bad. That's another reason why I had a hard time getting this thing started. But yeah, the temperatures, they're not bad, you know. I mean, at the closest point, we're at 120 degrees, so no worries. Up here, up top above the pipe, we're at 87, 90 degrees, maybe. Yeah, so no big deal. No big deal at all. So it's going to work out real nice. Now, you would think because of how much overkill this little stove is for this little space that it would get really, really hot upstairs compared to down here right now. But it's actually the opposite, because I have almost no insulation upstairs. It's actually about 10 degrees warmer down here right now than it is upstairs, because I just have, you know, one wall insulated, and it does actually help. But once I get it insulated upstairs, it'll probably be the opposite. You know, it'll be much warmer upstairs than it is down here. But it wasn't bad last night. I was able to sleep pretty comfortably. My face wasn't cold. I was able to, you know, leave my arms out exposed at a couple different times while I was sleeping. Didn't get cold. So this is great. I'm really happy with it. I still haven't leveled it yet. I was in such a hurry to get this thing going because it was getting cold that I haven't leveled it yet. But it's real easy to level at the bottom. You just got a couple of casters with you just turn them with a wrench to get it leveled out. No big deal. I will say this thing is pretty efficient. I'm not going to open the door, but you're not going to be able to see it. But up there's 3 tubes with holes in it, and above that there's a ceramic fiber board, and it's part of the EPA whatever compliance. It makes these wood stoves a little more efficient. Yeah, when you go outside, you almost can't see any smoke coming out of it. Can't see any smoke coming out of it right now, but at night I went outside while this thing was in a full roar and shined the flashlight up there, and you could see just a little bit of smoke come out, not much at all. And I think some of that smoke is probably due to this wood is just not completely cured. So that tells me that this wood stove is pretty efficient at burning. The more smoke you see coming out of a chimney, the less efficient of a burn you have going on, or your wood isn't cured properly. But yeah, I think this is going to be a good little stove. Very happy with it. So all right, so I'm going to go outside and show you what else I've been doing, and get this day started. Okay, so we'll get back with you in just a little bit. One thing I forgot to mention before This is this wood stove is a United States stove company, Defender 2. It's a little guy. The firebox, I could fit about a 16-inch log or piece of wood in it this way, and the depth isn't very far. It's about, I don't know, 12 inches deep, so you can't fit a ton of wood in this, but it seems to be just right for this little space. It's easier. It's not preferred to put whole rounds like that in there. I should have split that already, but you can fit it in there a lot better if you split it. But yeah, so it's not very big. I forgot to also mention that this wood stove does come with a blower. So this would mount on the back. There's a spot on the back where it mounts. A little knockout you take out of there, and a couple of screws, 4 screws, and then you just plug it into the wall, and it's got a dial. You can't really see it. There's a dial right here. It turns it on, and you can adjust the speed. So I didn't think it was necessary to install the blower. Don't think I need it in this little building. So I elected not to put the blower on it, but it is an option that comes with this stove. So kind of neat. And what it does is it forces air out of this, I don't know what you call it. There's a heat shield back here, and it blows the air up through that. So pretty cool. Just thought I'd mention that to you guys before we go outside. Alright, we're about to go outside. I don't know how well you're going to hear me because it's super windy outside, and I'm using a different mic setup this trip. I haven't used this one before, so I'm not sure how it's going to work. Out in the rain, out in the wind. It's basically a dual-sided shotgun mic. It's kind of an off-brand, so I'm not too sure about it, but we'll see how it goes out here in the wind. Hello, doggy. Okay, so yesterday I went ahead and added a 2-foot section of triple wall pipe to my chimney. The reason why I did that is because before, the chimney cap was not, it was just barely above the peak of the roof, and I know that's not too code, so I also think by raising it, it's going to help with the draft on it. So okay, a couple other things. So man, it's windy out here, sorry guys. This phone right here, I always set right here. It's an old phone of mine that I've had for several years. No longer has service, but I use it to Bluetooth music over to the speaker that I usually have sitting over here, so I can listen to music. Well, the last time I was here, I got in a hurry and forgot it, and it's been sitting there the last 3.5 weeks. Well, in between then and now, it has snowed, rained, and snowed again on that phone. And I was shocked, but it still works. I don't know if you can see it. Anyways, the phone still works. So I was pretty surprised about that. Okay, so this is my chainsaw. It's a Stihl Farm Boss. First steel chainsaw I've ever owned. I bought that about 2.5 years ago, give or take. I want to take you guys inside. It's just crazy windy out here. Come on, dog. Come on. Oh, man. Whew. It is ridiculous outside right now. Okay, so I bought that chainsaw about 2.5 years ago. Brought it up here. I think I was up here for a few weeks. Used it a little bit to cut up some dead trees, branches, whatever. Was pretty impressed with it. And I haven't used it again since then. So I was worried that when I go to use it, that it wouldn't fire up. I figured the carb on it would be a little bit gummed up or whatever. But to my surprise, when I pulled it out of I had it in my white cargo trailer over there. When I pulled it out, I didn't even put gas in it. I just threw the choke on, and on the second pull, it fired right up. So couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. And then I proceeded to cut up some of the wood that I used to burn last night and today with it, and it ran like a champ. I love that chainsaw. It cuts through wood like there's nothing there, like there's no resistance. That thing is amazing. I still like my Ryobi 40 volt, battery powered chainsaw. It's great for small jobs or whatever. It's lightweight. It does a pretty good job as long as the blade is nice or the chain is nice and sharp, but it doesn't even compare to that Stihl chainsaw. So I wanted to mention that. Also, I am happy to announce that I made my last payment on this property a couple of weeks ago. This place is completely paid off now, and I own it outright. That is a huge, huge weight off of my shoulders. There's always been this fear in the back of my mind for the last almost 8 years that somehow there's a possibility that there could be, I don't know, something happens and I lose this property. I don't know. It gets taken away from me. I don't know. Just a weird, probably nothing fear, but it's paid off now. So it's a great feeling to have all this land and to not own anything on it. Just the taxes, yearly taxes, which are very, very light. Taxes on this place are usually about $330 a year. So 48 acres, $330 a year. Okay. I am going to go check on my game camera because I have not checked on that yet. I don't know if we got anything on the game camera. I don't know if the camera's acting up again like it seems to want to do. I don't know why it does it, but I'm going to go check the game camera and see what we got. So we'll get back to here in just a minute. Well, with the magic of time and editing, here we are back at home. In all seriousness, you guys, I'm sorry. I got busy after checking the game camera, and I had to clean up, pack up, and get home. So I forgot to break out the camera at the end there and say my farewells. So all in all, I think it was a very productive one day up there at the property. I got what I set out to do done. It's a long trip for one day, but in the grand scheme of things, I think it's well worth it. This is how I do it, you know. One or 2 days I get to go up there every month and just knock one more thing off the list, you know. It's kind of like how you eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. So that is my elephant, the property. It's a big elephant, and I've got a lot of work to do up there. I've already done a lot of work, but I've got a lot more to do in hopes that someday I can make that my permanent home. So yeah, it was a great trip. Long drive home. I'm glad I'm home now. Yeah, so I will not be back up there again this month. It'll be sometime next month. I don't know when yet, because I do not have next month's schedule as far as work. So I don't know when I'll be able to go back up there. But what am I gonna do when I go back up there? I gotta build a woodshed. That's something I gotta do. And I gotta start kind of planning out a new outbuilding, if you will, to house a tractor. I don't have a tractor yet, but that's my next big purchase. Got to get a tractor. The roads are ridiculous, and nobody's gonna fix them but me. So I'm getting too old for this, you know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of wheelbarrowing, picking and shoveling and all that crap. It's a lot of work on this body. So it is time to get some equipment up there that can do the job properly. But I gotta have a place to put it, out of the weather, out of the elements. So that's my next thing. So woodshed and some kind of outbuilding to cover up a tractor when it's not in use. So alright guys, that's gonna do it for this one. You guys take care, be safe, have a great rest of your month. If you celebrate Thanksgiving here in the States, happy Thanksgiving. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.